We'd like to welcome each and every individual to Top Gun Voices of Integrity, Top Gun Sales Bootcamp Training. And man, there's a lot of stuff going on. Holy cow. Let's dive right in. Nora, what you got?
I had 20% for yesterday again.
Okay. Do you have any suggestions for me, Nora?
Not sure.
Um, Penny, what you got?
So I got another lead this morning just from the website, website lead, and we have it set up to where we have Calendly set on the link in the website, and then they click on the link, they can automatically set up an appointment in my calendar. Um, and I don't, it happens rarely, but it's happening more and more. Um, and I didn't know if they're like, if we could. I'm guessing we could, pretty sure we could set up something automatically to where if we, as soon as we get a new lead, is that as soon as they had set up an appointment, they'd get an email or something instant to where if it's 10 o'clock at night, then they get a reply right away versus, it's the next morning. Um, or should that not be is that just good enough?
Yeah, as a general rule, I would say it's a good thing. I mean, sometimes you go ahead and you delay it just a little bit, but I would say as a general rule, the response, communication, quick communication, multiple pieces, solid, fast, efficient, consistent, all of that's good. And the more you can automate that, as a general rule, the more the better.
Uh-huh. Um, and then the other thing is, so we were talking in the pre-show a little bit about one of our guys, and would we or how would you go about looking for other potential positions in the company if one position's not cutting it, not working out?
Yeah, see, that's the thing. That attitude, I just am in love with. It's just like to have compassion and say, hey, everybody's creating God's image, everybody's got something. Like Mel, owner of, Bluegate, he says he doesn't believe people are lazy. Okay. I said, what do you believe? He said, um, I believe that they haven't found what they love doing.
Haven't found their calling.
Yeah. And so,
So
go ahead.
maybe his calling is playing video games. He said he's done that professionally. Well, at one time that was his job.
Right.
And he's got the build for video games.
Okay. Um, so yeah, I mean, that's the challenge. Day trading, video games, there's, I don't know, handful of people, couple handful of people, and 8 billion people that go ahead and make a lot of money doing that. And so, well, if they don't look that impressive, and so I can do it too. And so there's an addiction to it's like an addiction to delusion. That like, yeah, that's a viable option for me. Um, so the best movie out there that I've seen about transferring succession planning, transferring, business from one generation to the next is, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. And and he just eliminated them. Just like go through them and just like, okay, you make one mistake, you're gone. You make another mistake, you're gone. Now, Charlie, he made a mistake, but he acknowledged it. He didn't come up with excuses. He didn't go ahead and rationalize it. He didn't explain it away. He just said, I made a mistake. Yep, I agreed to do something. I didn't do it. And yep, this is all. And so I mean, the cluster principle, we know about the cluster principle, but if you get in with a bad batch of strawberries, like they're all moldy. And so, the crab in the bucket, so it's almost like Life Masteries Institute's a nonprofit. And so it's designed to do things that businesses are not designed to do. Businesses are designed to make money. And to do that, you have to have all the pieces. You're only as strong as your weakest link. And so, so do you put together some type of a boot camp? And, say, hey, we'll reconsider you. What's fascinating is on Life Masteries Institute Riverside Retreat, they pay half what let's say they pay half what others would pay, but they end up paying 4 times as much as what others pay.
That makes sense.
So what are you um so what are you observing, Luke?
Life masteries. I don't know. I don't think care is the right word. Like I like to say life mastery cares more about everyone, but I don't think like just because a company doesn't hire someone doesn't mean they don't care about them.
If you don't have the capacity to help somebody, like if you just don't have the capacity, that's not doing them a favor. And so Kenny had a question. He wasn't sure about that. This is where, what I recommend you guys be on video. I don't know. You get training if it's just voice. So a blind person can see something in a room that people who see can't see. But if there's not sound, then they're blind, And so if you get paid $15 an hour, that's half as much as $30 an hour. So you're paying half what somebody else is paying, but you're actually paying 4 times as much.
Because we're paying the $30 an hour guy, or
He gets it.
he
He
gets
gets it
paid
done.
more
He gets it
because
done in an hour. The other person gets it done in 8 hours. And you're like, so, and then how much, I'm glad, like how much top level time is needed? Like how much, and how many people do you have working on the person? Like
Well, people sometimes do like a 1 day or a 2 day intensive something, boot camp, it's not a men's retreat or men's boot something. And like it's after those 2 days you'll be changed or broken.
Right. Right. And that's where, and so, Kenny came over on a weekly basis. So I'm testing him to see, is he going to stick with things? Because if he's not, I don't want, because it's going to take hard work. And then he loves new stuff, but is he going to stick with stuff once he gets bored with it? And how does he handle conflict and disappointment? And what's his loyalty? And like, because I am going to invest so much into this kid, it's going to be insane. I mean, insane. Like, and so the benefit is when you get people investing into other people, hopefully they have like, holy cow, I'm investing a week into him. I'm investing a day into him. This is hard work. Yeah, try doing that for 3 months. Try doing that for 6 months. Try doing that for a year, 2 years, 4 years, 30 years. Try doing that. It's insane. I mean, it's like, so, it's almost like I think it was Tom Kuntz that said, don't pay somebody more than what they're worth. If they need money and you're going to pay them, don't pay them more than what they're worth. If they need $3,000 in a month, but they're only worth 1,000, pay them 1,000 and then give them 2,000. Do not pay people more than what they're worth. It's a disservice to them.
What would the give can be considered as? Like,
A gift, literally. You just say, you earn 1,000, I'm going to give you two. You're not worth it, but I'm going to give it to you. So, maybe it was Alan Petlin. I don't know. One of those guys, one of those older guys went ahead and said it. I'm like, that is pretty interesting because it gives a delusion you're worth more than you are. And once you get that in your head, that you're worth that amount of money, it is hard, especially if you're doing marijuana. Whatever happens, it logs it into your brain. I'm worth this. Well, like it's the $155,000 an hour story. Well, I was worth that for 2 minutes. Like, how do you sustain that? And so, Luke, what you got?
So that $155,000 story, how do you keep track of which 2 minutes, or how did you know which exactly 2 minutes that was?
Well, I was very attentive. So on the X-ray, it said I was worth 5,000 an hour, and then I went ahead and said, "Hey," to the team, "Hey, I want to be worth 10,000 an hour." The drivers like, always want more. So they literally looked over my shoulder. We were studying it and saying, "Okay, well, where is that? Where is that time?" And then all of a sudden, it just happened. Like I talked to somebody for 2 minutes. If you want to figure it out, you just take $155,000 divided by 60, multiply it by 2, and in 2 minutes, I got a sale. 2 minutes it took me on the phone. Boom, boom, boom. Close that. I think it's 5, 6,000, whatever it is. And so it's like, well, what if I could do that what if I could do that every time? So in my sleep last night, I've been telling people about my system from, from 25 years ago, where I had 52 files in a file cabinet, one for each week of the year. And I built this strategic strike. And so, I built the strategic strike. And so here's some from .com secrets. Like, it's interesting. Like Teresa, you guys know Teresa Leckett. And so she used to be an EVA. Now she owns her own, landscape company. And she recommended the book Lean In by Sheryl Sandberg. She says, Mark, I know you're interested in women and helping women and stuff. This is a good book. What did I do? Went out there,
Read
bought it, and then consumed it. I recommended books to her. Did she ever get it? Nope. So here in .com secrets, there you have traffic bait, front end, middle, and back. And then you have the value ladder, the bait, front and middle, back, and then the price goes up and the value goes up. So the value ladder. So you go, as your price goes up, your value goes up. And then you have the attractive character. And so elements is backstory, parables, character flaws, and polarity. Identity is the leader, the adventurer, the crusader, the reporter, evangelist, the reluctant hero. And then you have storylines, loss and redemption, us versus them, before and after, amazing discovery, secret telling, and then third person testimonials. So, so, oh, in my sleep last night, I woke up this morning and I'm like, I don't think you're going to be able to get anybody to do this, Mark. I think you're going to have to do it again yourself. And, and it's just weird. Like, I didn't go to sleep thinking about that for sure. And so on the 10 plus strategic strike, this is what's fascinating to me on how maybe it's just me not being very smart, where I just like, Mark, you're not a very smart kid. So, like, listen to people and do what people tell you to do. Do what you're told, when you're told, how you're told, do it with a great attitude. Just simple. It's not complicated. Just do that. And then you'll know if it works or not. Like it's not hard. Like this is not really that hard, but people don't do that. People don't, well, explain to me. I don't see the value, so I'm just not going to do it. And it's like, okay. And so, Luke, what you got? What
I don't
else?
think I have anything.
Anybody else have anything? So this is it's when when it gets hard. Like it's just fascinating to me on how hard it is. And so, like a rocket, right before it breaks free of the atmosphere, that's when the resistance gets the most. That's when it gets the most resistance. There's the most gravitational pull. And so this is just really fascinating here. Like, and so I don't know what to do with this. And
What is
so,
that?
well, if this was an airplane, is it landing? I guess if it's landing, it's okay. If it's crashing, I don't know. Like,
Landing noses first.
and so, like, So I don't know. To me, to me, I see the potential in people. It's crazy. I hate it. But so in sales, there's something called the slow death. Hate that. Hate the slow death. So people go ahead and work a little less, little less, little less, little less, little less until they're like, this isn't for me. And it's like, well, and it's like, so I don't know. So I don't know, like, I don't know how much. It's just like with that new team member, potential team member, I don't know how much to help people. And I don't know who to help. I don't know who to put the time into. And so there's something called the sacrificial lamb principle, and so that's where you use somebody as an example. And then you mix that with the two concubine story. You guys are familiar with that one, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so you know, it's unfortunate, like people, you use people as examples, say this is what happened. This is what happened to people. And so, I mean, I'm just giddy and excited that I've got a tool that actually seems to be able to measure, week and week by week. And it's like, okay, so now that I can measure it, now what do I do with it? And do I build in like Luke is an expressive, so I don't know. Since he's an expressive, his numbers are probably too high. Hey, build that in and say, yep, that expressive by 60%. That's not really real. And Nora, she's a double analytic, so hers are not probably, as low as what they are. Do I factor that in? How in the world do I do that? And I don't know. So,
I don't think the graph's accurate, but could be wrong.
so that's the double analytic. And the double analytic struggles, and my heart, I just break for them. It's like, I don't know, in a way, kind of a weird way, but in a way, it's like people who are allergic to anything besides processed food. It's like, how can you be allergic to something like fresh food? That's just, I don't know. It's possible. So what the analytic does is the analytic says that, well, it's not right, and they're right. It's not right. And so Nora says, I don't personally trust it or believe it's accurate. He's right. It's not. Like that dot right there might be a little higher, might be a little lower. But you know what? If it's not just perfect, well then you know what? I yeah. If it's not just perfect, then I'm not going to trust any of it. So I taught that in the mortgage, so they have a good faith estimate. And I think I've shared this with you guys before, but maybe it bears repeating. I noticed, like, I'm 24 years old, and I noticed the personality stuff. And I'm like, so if I'm 10 cents off on a $500,000 loan on an estimate, like, that's not that big a deal. But it is to the analytic. So what they do is they're looking for little tiny itty bitty mistakes. And if there's little tiny itty bitty mistakes, then they don't trust you at all. And so I don't know what to do about that. Like I don't know, like each of the four personalities, each of them are damaged. They all are damaged, every one of them. Even the driver. Kenny says the driver's perfect, but they're not. And so every one of them is damaged. And so, how do you help them get out of their own way? How do you help them? Do they have to go through and change personalities for 2 years and then 3 years? Do they have to do that to be appreciative of other people and their gifts? I don't know. It's what I had to do, but I'm not that smart. So I don't know. I guess I have to do a lot more than other people. I don't know. So do they have to go ahead and do that to appreciate other people, to have empathy for other people, to go ahead and be humble? All four of these are crazy arrogant. Man, are they arrogant, every one of them. But one of them has an advantage over the other four. Do you guys know why that is?
No.
Do you know which one has the advantage?
Maybe the amiable.
Because
They're, it might be, um, they're the most inaccurate. People can't track them.
right, they're a chameleon. So they're a chameleon. So one day they're green, and the other day they're blue, and another day they're red. So yeah, they're the natural chameleon. The amiable is a natural chameleon. So what they do is whatever environment that they're in, they will adjust to that environment. So that Kenny's right. Anybody else have ideas? Which one has the advantage? Because that's not who I was thinking.
What are you thinking, the driver?
Because
They like they face the fact, or they're not afraid to have their feelings hurt if someone tells them, or they accept the fact that they're arrogant, or more likely to adapt, or I'm not sure.
I think I was thinking, the driver, because they have, high goal, high vision, and they learn very early in life, other people are not going to get you there. It's going to be you. And the only way you're going to get there is if you take personal ownership. The other three personalities will depend on other people. So the advantage they have is they will depend on other people. The disadvantage they have is they will depend on other people. The driver is like, I'm an idiot. I'm stupid. Like, it's my fault that I didn't. How can it be your fault for three kids dying? It just is. It just is. I don't know. Somebody's got to take ownership of it. So what they do is they take on this massive amount of responsibility, and so the advantage they have is they just like, yep, I suck. Yep, and so what they do is they learn like crazy because it's their fault, and they have big vision, and they say, you know what, I'll do it on my own if I need to. I'll carry everything on my own. And so, but each of them have, none are better than another. It's just they're probably going to live a life of tremendous significance in being able to go through it. So, all right, you guys are awesome. Appreciate y'all. Always remember we can accomplish so much more together than we ever could on our own. Have an amazing day. Bye bye.